Right. Good evening, peoples of Earth. Happy to see you again. Okay. Assuming, of course, there's anyone watching yet at the moment. If you are there, feel free to say hi. Hello. Okay. Uh, so hello to all of you out there. Last time I absolutely failed to make much progress in, I guess, what is that mode called? It's Doom's Ultra Nightmare mode. I mean, I got. I'm sorry, there's something inherently hilarious about the phrase, let's go, like that to me. My apologies. Okay, so tonight is going to be an art night, and if you don't know much about me as an artist, um, we'll probably have a very, very small introduction to me as an artist, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do. I have some ideas. But if chat has anything they really want to see that, isn't going to get me banned off Twitter, then we'll see about doing that. All right, hang on one. Come with me on a journey, chat. Here we go. So, I think I mentioned last time that I fancy myself something of an artist. Yes, I did draw everything that's on the screen. Well, okay, so I didn't actually make the template. The template is from Olivine Arc slash The Summoner Wars, and I really hope I'm saying that correctly. I may not be. If I sound a little awkward tonight, Chad, it's because okay. So any structure in space is a contained habitat, right? Like any structure in space is a contained habitat. Like that's kind of the deal with it, right? So when you have a complex and it's all one contained habitat, this means that if there is any kind of issue, because you have basic systems, right? And these basic systems kind of go everywhere. They go everywhere. And when when they go everywhere, it makes it hard to completely isolate any single part of the system, right? So so we have a botany section, and I am deeply allergic, which means I have to be in the same basic ventilation system as literally hundreds, if not thousands, of plant samples from the area that my ob station is responsible for. And right now, because in order to properly simulate the conditions downstairs, we try and match our seasons to, the planets. So right now it's springtime for me and all the plants I have to live with and share an environmental system with. And I wasn't built for this, chat. These are not my plants. I do not need to be exposed to this kind of like level of airborne contamination. And yet here we are. Here we are. So it sounds a little weird. It's because I'm having some real problems, and I probably could use some help irrigating basically every orifice on my head. Um, so there's that. So let's talk about myself as an artist ever so slightly before we're going to jump into this. My name is Velix, as you all know. That's like pretty standard. I typically do art through this. I suppose in time I could do a fancy thing where maybe you could only see the art screen, but maybe not. We'll figure out how that works later. Um, you may call me Velix. We are not yet on first name terms. Maybe one day. Uh, I tend to go through a lot of stages of preparation. I tend to like do all kinds of like colors and effects and things like that. Including like with different filter layers and things like that. I tend to, well, I sometimes make palettes. I'll lean towards, using whatever color makes sense. I Whoever can do this, you have like the 70 plus people group pictures, you have my unyielding, unwavering, eternal respect. And I am not that person. I am not you. I wish I was you, but I cannot do that. I took a poll and asked people around me because I drew this up here. I have to admit, I think the insanity is the thing I admire about them. Chat. I think the insanity is something I admire about them. Don't don't shame people for their deviance, right? Or I guess sorry for their differences. Deviance is slightly different, but you shouldn't shame people for that either. Into like saturated, ornate stuff, which is part of my takes forever, etc., etc. Um, I am playing music in the background. I will try and get in the near future. So there's ways that you can also stream music while you draw and stuff. Get some music for you, chat. I will not be listening to it because I like my licensed music that Twitch will absolutely hear and then have a problem with. So I might see in the future about some way to let you guys know what I'm personally listening to if you want to listen along. But yeah, these are the colors I like. This is white at the very end that just kind of bleeds and everything. But so here is what we're going to be drawing tonight, where it says Monster Girls, heavy on the monster. And I think I like them in part so much because I feel like it represents hope for the human species. Because if you can have positive emotional reactions to to intelligences that aren't like you, that may have features you might find repulsive or other things, then okay, so I'm new to this. Let me see what I can do about that, chat. Um, you did, but that's fine. I'm happy to forgive you your mistakes, chat. Uh, Stream information. Okay, is there a Monster Girl tag on? There is not a Monster Girl tag on Twitch art. This makes me kind of sad. This makes me kind of very sad, actually. Sadder than the you are, which I'm not judging you for. I'm just disappointed. Uh, Look, I feel like you can't. Okay, that's like saying that like wouldn't a plant just be life? Wouldn't an animal or a bacteria or a vibroid just be life? Like, yes, technically, chat. Okay, yes, sure, fine, it is art, but 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 there's more to it than that. There's more to it than that. Uh, it can, and I don't know if tonight's will. I don't know if tonight's is going to have butts. Because I don't know if I'm drawing someone from the backside. And while I appreciate that there is art where someone's looking at you straight on and you can absolutely see their butt, I don't think we're going with that proportions. I mean, I've been told I have more than one, so I guess in theory, everything has at least. Well, that's a good question. Yeah. Before we really get started, before we genuinely get started here, I have a question for you. Let's see. CH. Okay, good. Like, what constitutes as a butt? What is but, you know, what is but? Because, like, is a butt like is it like a vaguely heart-shaped object that attaches to, you know, what would otherwise be a flat, gently curved torso segment? Is that a butt? Is that what a butt is? Or, or, or is a butt simply the opposite of is it whatever exists in opposition to a head? Like if you have a head, then is whatever is at the back end, is that automatically a butt? Because I don't know if you know this, humanity, but you call a lot of things heads. You call a lot of things heads on a lot of different things. And if a butt is simply an opposite to a head, then I feel like every object, big and small, must naturally have a butt because every object has a front, more known technically as a head. So I suppose everything, to circle back around, I suppose you're right. Everything has at least one butt, minimum one, minimum one butt. I don't know how many butts to qualify myself as having. Like, I definitely have a thing that I sit on, and I have a thing attached to the bottom of my spine that I don't sit on. Um, and I mean, if it's just anything attached to like the head, then it could be something else too, because like I have like there's ends to my antennae. Does that mean that I have antenna butts? Like, so there's a lot of questions here revolving around butts. I'm concerned that this is going to be a heavily anatomically focused stream, and for those who aren't big on the finer points of an only by mistake, chat. I only send them by mistake. They're not the most sensitive, and they are protected. But it's one of those times where I'm kind of glad that I'm in microgravity. I've accidentally kind of like okay, so I haven't broken one of my plates before. Right? I haven't broken one of my plates before, but like I've cracked a few of them here and there. Like it's something I've absolutely done. Like I guess it's about the same as like breaking like a fingernail or like I don't know, a toenail maybe. Like it's awful, but it's not going to like destroy your life unless you live in like the medieval era and then it gets gangrene and they have to remove your entire leg. That's way too big, isn't it? That's way too big. I can't look. I like to think I can draw, right? And I can kind of draw. But the problem is that I'm not an amazing artist in some ways because I everything ends up either too big or too small. Like I have an idea for what I want to do, and I can't figure out how large it needs to be yet. So I guess I'm gonna just start like drawing it. Uh, Sure, sure. Okay, so apparently this is now going to be a piece of hyper artwork because I just can't fit the entire subject onto the same uh canvas. So if any of you are in like the hyper art scene, no judgment from me, right? Like I'm not making fun of you. But when chat says something like that, I have to say something, right? Uh Shoot, I'm already at the part where I'm having a problem. Like I'm gonna have to shrink this down, chat. I guess I could zoom in and then it would look bigger without being bigger. Um, yeah, so I don't. I don't know what I'm doing with this. Like, this is probably, I'm probably going to reuse. This is not like a particular thing. I guess I'm drawing inspiration, particularly from like scorpions for this particular piece, right? Uh, and so I don't think it's going to be like an exact thing. Not in the sense of like, oh hey, this is chat. I don't know a single goddamn Latinate name of one fucking species of scorpion. Like, I was going to sound super intelligent there, and now I absolutely sound like a complete idiot. I'm so sorry. Apparently, I am that asshole tonight. Um, so, yeah, this is not based on a species of scorpion. This is incorporating concepts of scorpionness, emperor, wood, and desert. Can I have can I have a fourth choice? Because I feel like being a manager right now. So I need another choice that wasn't in your original list because none of your options that are viable and like good are something that I am into right now. I don't even know what an emperor scorpion looks like. Hang on, chat. Emperor scorpion. Okay, no. No, okay. So, bark scorpions and rad scorpions. I could make this a Fallout fan art stream by doing like a rad scorpion monster girl. I could do that. I could do that right now. But this apparently is an emperor scorpion. This thing right here. It does look a lot like the Fallout ones actually. I have to wonder if that's what Fallout like based them on. At least in the newer Fallouts. I don't remember how they looked in like Fallout 1 and 2. Okay, so can confirm is based off Fallout Scorpions are based off these. Wonderful. I hate the scorpions in Fallout. They give me arachnophobia. Like no lie. I okay. Does Fallout take place in Nevada? I don't think so. Fallout 1 took place in California. Fallout 2 took place in. But I bet people in the US keep them as pets. Which Fallout takes place in Nevada? Okay. I don't remember Fallout 1 very well. I remember the Master's long, winding speech, but like I don't remember a lot of it. Chat, I am not responsible for the west coast of the thing you call North America. That is not what my hab station that is not what my ob station is in orbit over. That's not what I observe. Like you cannot hold me to such exacting standards. Look, ob post O dot 7.0 AF is not there, okay? Like, I appreciate that 7.0 does mean I am above North America, but that is not what the AF designation stands for. I'm in a different grid. Um, which one was New Vegas? That's Fallout 3, right? Yeah, once it's Fallout 3. Yes. That was the third Fallout game in the mainline series. So therefore it was no, chat, you're wrong. That's Fallout DC, which was the side game made by Bethesda Softworks. Trust me on this. You don't have to go look this up. Just take the word of a more advanced life form. Yeah, 'cause that's not something we have a lot of around here. Like honestly, the amount of like I don't know if anyone's ever worked in an office place, but for a regular office place, the the amount of copium that's consumed regularly is tremendous. I don't know what I'm doing with the hands, chat. I had this like, and now I'm just drawing on the pasted in image. That's fantastic. Okay, this is off to an amazing start right now, chat. Okay, I don't know what to do with the arms. I might have one of them pushing up some form of glasses. Uh, this might be like a character or like that may or may not be a species that exists. So like that's a thing. Uh, this individual doesn't though, and like this. So I'm a bit of a world builder, chat. I think I've mentioned that in like every single profile I've ever done. But I don't know that I'm a good world builder. Like the worlds get built, sure. I'm not going to deny that. But I don't know if I'm a good world builder, and here's why. So I was like, what is this character's name going to be? Right? And so I was like, you know what? Let's come up with a name that looks nice. And I was kind of into the idea of it being like almost, but not entirely reversible, right? So what do? I come up with the syllables, if you can call them that. I come up with the syllables of N E, right? And, and I was like, you could say that Ine or something like that, right? But I don't like that there's no like starting sound. So I'm like, what is a nice sound to go with this? And because they're kind of uh kittenous, chat, did you just are you correcting my language, chat? Are you correcting me on what I will have you know is not the language I speak best in? Because you shouldn't correct people who don't know better, chat. Then they'll learn. You don't, the last thing you want me doing, chat, is me actually learning something. Because if I actually learn something, then you will never hear the end of it. Okay, so, so, okay. Um, so I was like, so I was like, you know, what is it? What is a nice kittenous sound? And I'm like, CH, no. Q, no. That's just, that Q in like an isolated Q in Anglophone phonemes is such a try hard move, you know? It screams like I want to be something. I don't even know what. No offense to anyone who has ever like, because I have two, right? Like I've absolutely done like something like I don't know why I'm doing uppercase A's. I've absolutely done something like that before, right? Don't learn from me, chat. Don't do that. Don't name people like that. So eventually I'm like, you know what makes a nice pleasing sound? S. S makes a nice pleasing sound. And canny, I think is how you say it. Or that is at least how I said it. Yes. I guess you'd say it Kaane. Kaani, maybe. Sounds a bit like Cheney. Which I use well, I know it doesn't actually sound anything like Cheney. It's a bit like Chani, which is how I used to say Cheney's name. But I was like, okay, X makes a nice sound. So I'm like, okay, how do you pronounce this as an Anglophone thing? And so I get I go I no. Uh Connie Canny did not have Any dicks. Is he even still alive? Like, I guess he could be. He was not in great health last time I checked. But anyway, chat. Huh. Rip Mr. Cheney. Okay then. Uh, chat, I'm not gonna get any art done if you make me keep going to look up stuff. Richard Cheney. Richard Bruce Cheney. Uh, he is still alive. He has not yet died. He's had like 7 heart operations, chat. God, he must just be in constant pain. I can't even imagine. Okay, chat. Chat, I hate to. As someone who's done a lot of fantasy stuff, okay, chat, as someone who's done a lot of fantasy stuff, I hate to break this to you. Liches don't need heart surgery. That's sort of the entire point of being a lich. Like, and you only have one of those, as far as I know, in your government. If you have liches. Uh, Actually, the rules on phylactery creation are a bit interesting and a bit varied. Um, yeah, don't worry, chat. I will probably do that easily dozens of times without even realizing it. Like this is the problem with being like a GM. You always have to have an answer to anything anyone says, and it has to make close enough sense they don't question it. But anyway, chat, this word, this name is pronounced sin. And I by accident created like the most like edgelord tryhard name I could possibly have conceived of, entirely by accident. Like trying to be like sensible about this. And this is what I mean. I don't know that I'm a good world builder, chat. Like, I just don't know that I'm that good at it. Like I feel like I get there eventually, right? This is not how I was originally gonna draw her tail. Do you guys like tails, chat? Like, are tails popular? I don't know. Like, I've seen a lot, and I mean like a lot lately, of art of things that were not a while back, but are now called kobolds. And those can be incredibly popular. And I have to commend you, humanity, like embracing a lost evolutionary trait. It's a good way to start stepping outside of your comfort zone, but in a way that seems familiar. Look, wanting a tail is not like okay, chat, I have a tail. And I want a tail. Because like a long tail, like that I could curl around stuff, that would be kind of awesome. I don't have that as a tail. Like it'd be nice. Like I would cuddle people with it. Like I would I think chat chat do are we going to do this? Is this going to be the start of this? Oh fucking hell. Okay, chat, fine. 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 Yes. I have an enormous gaster attached to the back of my spinal cord. Are you happy? Look, I have been being told all my life that I have an enormous behind, I suppose. It can be a butt. It can be a butt if we want to define it as a butt. But, but I have been told, like all my life, that I have an enormous behind. And apparently this is just not going to be a thing that ever stops. Is it just the two of us? I don't know. I suppose it's always just the two of us. It's always just me and chat here. It is our safe space, chat. Like honestly, I would appreciate being cursed with thickness. I would appreciate chat. You are you are a collective noun. You are singular and plural, chat. But I wish I was cursed with like proper thickness. Um, because thing is, like, I wouldn't even care anymore. Like, I would have actually cared. I would have cared back when I was under the cursed influence of, like, of gravity, chat. Dusky, chat, embrace the death. Take it into yourself. Relax and let it penetrate you to a profound level. Okay, I may, I may have to revise my lewd to wholesome position on that particular graph. I may have to. This is gonna be your fault, chat. I just need you to understand that. Okay? As long as we can agree that that is your fault. Oh god, that's part of my sketch. Okay. I can fix this. I can re-sketch over the sketch that I sketched on the actual scorpion image. Oh god. Okay, I'm sorry, chat. I also feel chat. Since this is going to be like a lesson in all kinds of anatomy and oh shit, there's more of it. Okay, fine. In all kinds of anatomy and things like that, chat. Since this is going to be a lesson in all sorts of stuff like that, let's, you know what? Fine, we'll just do it this way. That's the nice thing about digital art, chat, is when you fuck up, you have more options to unfuck yourself. I appreciate that as members of the human species, you might not understand why you would want to unfuck yourself, but there are many legitimate reasons why you might want to unfuck yourself. Anyway, so since this is an anatomical thing, I am not well, chat. I mean, you knew that. You knew I wasn't well, but I don't mean in the head, chat. I mean like physically, chat. Like we have so much of your shit up here. Hang on a minute, chat. Hang on. Okay. We have so much of your shit up here, humanity, that like the environment is not sterile anymore. Like we have pollen. Like, do you know part of our do you know that aside from like nutrient blocks, the only thing we have is local cuisine? I don't know if you've tasted your food, humanity, but what the fuck are you even eating down there? Like you guys take like these things and like nature has made these particular things exude this chemical compound that triggers pain receptors, causes flushed skin, and causes you to start exuding moisture from your hide. And so every other animal's like, no, this is the worst thing ever. And what do humans think? Do they go, oh man, not only did this do all that to me, but the next morning, when I went to relieve myself behind a bush, Thog had the worst shits of his life. Does the human race then go, wow, we, we, we're never going to touch it again? No. You start cultivating them to make it fucking more intense. Humanity, what is. See, this is what I'm talking about, chat. One of you just ate an entire. That's a jalapeno, right? That's how you say that, right? I'm familiar with Latinate languages. There was a time when I was considering trying to transfer to a different ob station. Same complex. So it's more like an interdepartmental transfer, right? And like I was like, I'm gonna pick up how you say Latinate words, and that's from Spanish. That's a Latinate language, right? So yeah, like so what if you ate an entire fucking jalapeno today? Do you know what happens? Do you know what happens when I eat a slice of that? Do you want to know what happens, chat? I get pain. I get pain so bad. I get pain and cramps so bad that I can't go into work, that I can't get out of my bed. I get pain so bad that the people staying in the small like little, because we have our own like small little personal spaces, right? But they're like sort of like apartment style. So like the people in like the ones nearby, they came knocking at my door like, hey, are you okay? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, there was one time, I don't remember what it was anymore, where I had something. Okay, okay, okay. I'm glad I have a drawing program up. So, humanity, you understand this collectively, even if not all of you chat understand this. There's a thing called spin gravity, or spin grav is if you want to be like short, and it's kind of like artificial gravity, but there's no gravity involved. And what you do is you take a cylinder, you take like a big ass cylinder, and you spin it in a direction, right? And I don't know if you ever like spun something inside like a mug or something, chat. But you notice how it will, because of the motion of the spin, it will attach itself. It'll like attach itself, right? To like the inside of a wall and like fling there as it rotates, right? So that's how our beds work. Like we have like this series of things, right? We have this series of things, and it's inside this large tube. And on the outside of the tube, you have these sleeping cubbies and or rooms. Uh, you don't have to use them. You can request one in no gravity, but I look, chat. It's easier to sleep the way you know, and if you sleep in micrograv, you're gonna have drool in places you don't need drool. So it's just better to. And in the core, there is a tunnel, right? And this tunnel has just like open walls. Like it has open walls, right? Like if you look at it from the side, it's like here's the tunnel, and here's like the actual wall, and there's this opening, and this opening is where there is like a little like connecting trough, like here, and then there is like the actual like sleeping cubbies, like this, right? So the sleeping cubbies, and there's like a passage here. This is not to scale. This is not to scale, chat. This passage way bigger. This passage is like I can stand in this silver. Um, and so what happens is like you wake up and like you're here, and then you go to a ladder and you kind of climb yourself up the ladder until you can enter into here, and then you scoot down towards like the main like bulk of the facility in microgravity, and that's how you get to your morning coffee. Morning coffee in micrograv, by the way, is served in a portable nipple, which is basically like this like ball with like a pacifier nipple like attached to it, and it's like a little squeezy ball full of like your favorite, like I say morning coffee. We don't drink coffee. In fact, I can't drink coffee because that's another thing that your species just shoves down its throat that causes me paroxysms of pain. But that's how it works, okay? That's how you bed in space. Like if this was like a super expensive, like rich person's like place, then we'd probably have what I guess you would call electrograv or powered gravity, because it's not the worst to do, but it's expensive, chat. It's expensive, and this is a company facility, which means they're going to do the bare minimum. You thought you could escape. Uh, you thought you could escape. It sure does. Let me fix that, okay? Look, I'll get better at this, chat. I can't promise that. I don't get better at things, chat. It's just over time you stop noticing that I suck as much. Okay, okay, I'm updating it. I have updated it. Um, okay, okay. I'm not even saying anymore. Um, Hang on in chat. You can't see it because of the way this program works. Exactly. I am far too deep for you, chat. Frankly, I'm far too deep for anything humanity has to offer, but that's why you're here, right? Because you don't want what humanity has to offer. You want to be elevated above the level of transcendent monkeys. I'm so glad I didn't evolve from a primate. Oh, chat, you know I love you. Like I'm not going to judge you on the basis of where you come from. It's where you go to that matters. Isn't that right, chat? Okay. Fucking hell. Oh shit. Chat, can I unsay that very quickly? Or pretend that no one noticed what you just pretend you didn't notice what you did. Also, yes. If someone out there wants to use Transcendent Monkeys as a sick band name, if no one's already, they may, but you have to link back to my stream. That is the price. No licensing fees. You just have to link back to the stream. Okay. The thing is, Transcendent Monkeys is something that I might draw at some point. I'm not sure I'm into it right now because of the whole non-fungible token debacle, and I think they're called like ugly monkeys or something. I don't know. I'm not keen on it. I don't like them. They seem very gross to me, Chad, and I'm not a big fan of things that are that disgusting. Uh, I do know that the at least at one point famous rapper Marshall Mathers spent like a decent chunk of $1 million on one of those, or like was it 50K or something? More money than needed to be done. Uh, yeah, they are ugly monkeys. That's fair. Any money for an image. Cat, you speak the truth. You speak the wide, wide truth. Like I don't really know gamers in as much as I don't know gamers, like any gamers personally, very well, right? But gamers in an instance where they are 100% correct are very down on the whole NFT things, and I feel like I'm not liking those legs. I feel like they have the right of this. They're too big, first of all. Maybe a little bit. I don't know where I'm going with the legs right now, Chad. It's a work in progress. Don't judge it till it's done. Or do, but expect it to change a lot. But yeah, the thing about so speaking of transcendence, Chad, let's talk about something that humanity seems to value a lot that I need to disabuse you the fuck out of, okay? It's this idea of oneness with the universe. Have you ever been one with the universe, Chad? Like, have you ever been one with the universe? No, I don't think you have. Humanity talks about how important it is to be one. Chat, you're lying. Shut up. Actually, I don't know, chat. We're I don't, okay, I don't know how you're allowed to talk about substances that may be restricted on Twitch. So let's just talk. Let's call it. I don't know. Were certain compounds involved, chat, in achieving this state? Because I feel like it's the only way a normal member of humanity is going to experience that. But okay, for those of you who have experienced universal oneness, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you like that you couldn't tell the difference between yourself and other people anymore, chat? Did you like the fact that you had no idea where your own thoughts began and ended? Because that's not fun, chat. Like losing all sense of who and what you are, that's not a good time, humanity. That is a nightmare. Like the thing that makes you you is having a sense of identity. It was for me. All right, Chad. See, and this is why you need me. Because if you don't have me, you're gonna start thinking all of this stuff is really good. No. Okay, actually, you know what? Maybe it's a fun place to visit for some people. You know what? I'm not gonna judge you here, chat. Maybe that's the case. Maybe it is. But, but, imagine if you had to live there. If your every thought was not your own, if your every sense of who you are is not yourself, what are you? You're nothing. And you have to live there, constantly screaming, going, who am I? Because you can't do anything because you don't know who you are or what you can do. Chat, this is a safe space. You don't have to be sorry for anything here. It's also much very important, chat, that you not lie to each other about anything you might do. Hardcore subs though, if Boris wants to be a hardcore sub, that's fine. You can absolutely let him do that. Let him follow his bliss. Uh, I say his. We don't have to gender people here. Let them follow their bliss. Because who knows? Like that may not be a he. Boris may not identify as a he. I'm not here to judge or constrain you, chat. Um, uh, no, you can chat. I am not he, him, me. I mean, I suppose I am me most of the time. But I am not he, him, chat. But thank you for your offer. It's the first time I've ever had it's the first time I've ever had a human being offer to gender me. It's very exciting. Is gendering things like that seems to be a thing that humans like to do. And I don't mean this like in general. Like half of your languages, humanity, like gender things, right? Like it's interesting. Like Like take Spanish for instance, right? Spanish has gendered nouns, and many languages have things called gendered nouns, and it means that their nouns have a gender. People used to say that nouns had a sex, but I have watched your languages for a long time, humanity, and I've never seen your nouns have sex. Only your proper nouns. Um, so, so, um, so, so, with that like said, I guess, uh, where, what the hell was I on about, chat? I have derailed my own train of thought, like legitimately. I'm sorry. It's something about gendering, and I don't remember. I think part of why I think part chat chat you're here to learn from me. Of course I don't expect actually you know what chat? Fine. This is now a symposium. I now expect you to answer my questions. So if I have questions, you're now responsible for coming up with the answers. We'll do this ancient Greek rhetorical style. You're welcome, chat. Do not mess with me. I have more tools in my toolbox than you are prepared for. Uh, God, that jalapeno message is still bothering me. The fact that someone you just ate that. You ate it raw too, didn't you? I'm willing to bet you ate it raw. I mean, actually, that's a very healthy way of looking at it, Chad. Like, really realistically, evolutionarily speaking, you are nothing but a tool. You are a tool designed for sex. You're a tool designed to sex another one of your kind and then reproduce. And then someone has to spend 9 months growing a squirmy little half clone of the both of you inside them. I mean, I appreciate that you guys do it differently. And the thing is, really, doing it differently is a hallmark of like any intelligent species. So don't think I'm knocking the non reproductive approach. Because I appreciate that that's like, Dusky Boris, I hate you. Like, there is no time where I am. We just, okay. So the company works on a three shift cycle, right? Each shift, each shift is 12 hours. And then you have the other two. So each shift is 10 hours. And then you have the remaining 20 hours to sort your shit out and get ready for your next shift. It's like my day chat does not line up with yours at all. Like, I got up from being asleep like a few hours ago. Like, I don't know what time it is down there. I never know what time it is down there. That's good for a start. Okay, that's not that later. Okay. Uh, but yeah, chat. Let me list the things that I can't eat in a taco, chat. Let me list them. Let me see. What do you have in a taco? You have, oh yeah, beans, because I can't eat those, because they completely block parts of my digestive system from operating. So beans, you have that. You have cheese, because lactate, like heavy duty lactate is something that, my body also can't break down. You have jalapenos, which is, just pain condensed into a plant. Um, beans, cheese, jalapenos. You have tortillas, which I also can't eat. I can't eat tortillas because it's either wheat or it's corn, both of which I can't eat. So you have that. You might actually have separate corn on the tacos, which is also a problem. Uh, you have what else do you put in tacos? You might put coriander. I can eat coriander. I can eat coriander, Chad. That's the part of the taco I can eat. And tomatoes. So coriander, tomatoes, I can eat those. You have onions, right? You have onions. Onions are no bueno. Onions are not going to work. Again, it's the pain flavors. Why are you a species that eats pain? Do you understand? You guys are like a creature from myth. I hope you understand this. Like you guys have your all these weird bits about like, oh, it's a monster that can eat poison. Humanity, you are the monster that can eat poison. That is you. That's 100% you. Like you need to acknowledge this fact. The monster that eats poison is you. And the cloud of noxious gas it breathes out, that's your breath when you don't brush your teeth afterwards. Like there's a reason we don't do abductions, chat. No one needs to face that. None of us want to, and more importantly, corporate policy says we're not allowed to. Um, there would be some firings if abductions happened. Well, I mean, frankly, head office would probably prefer abductions, but that would get the company in trouble, and then we'd be in trouble. And because when the company's in trouble, you're in trouble. Anyway, so beans, cheese, jalapenos, tortillas, either kind, corn, onions, uh, so sour cream. Let's talk about this, chat, because I have a bone and a half to pick here. So you take something. You're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this heavy duty bovine lactation that's completely full of all these undigestible things that like my system can barely handle, but that I'm just evolved enough to be able to extract some form of nutrients from, right? Like I'm going to take that. That's what I want to eat. But I don't want to eat it yet. No. Instead, instead, I am going to take that and I am going to not make it into cheese, but I'm going to churn it until it's a thick, homogeneously textured paste. And then you know what I'm going to do? Then I'm going to let it rot. I'm going to start fermenting it, but I'm not going to make it cheese. No, I'm going to instead keep mixing it together until I have this paste that is like gently rotten milk that has been thickened with fat. And so I'm going to call this cream. But because it's like gone off some, it's going to be sour. So I'm going to call it sour cream. I have no issues with. So, okay. You want to hear my issue? We'll get to bamboo. We will fucking get to bamboo. Because bamboo is one of those things, right? This is what I'm trying to tell you, chat. This is why you need my help. You guys wouldn't even know what to eat, right? So there's sour cream. And then there is salsa. Do I need to eat? Do I even fucking need to explain it after everything else on this list that I can't eat? Why I can't eat salsa? Oh yeah, and salsa has vinegar, vinegar, vinegar. Yeah, I can say it. Just don't ask me to spell it. I can spell it in my language. Just I'm not sure about yours. Um, it has vinegar in it, which I also can't eat. Chat, because vinegar makes me swell. I don't want to talk about it. Had to take some medication. Was like round for like 4 hours. It was weird. Anyway, moving on. What else goes on a taco? Yeah, funny enough, like despite my disrespect of sour cream, I actually have a lot more respect for cheese. Cheese requires like a lot of thought, a lot of consideration to make. Like there is technique involved in cheese. Like I appreciate that it is like hard packed, fermented bovine milk. Like if you wanted cheese that you could eat, what you do is you take a human and you pump her full of hormones so that she's like making milk nonstop. And then you collect what you need from that individual and you ferment that into cheese. And you'll have cheese that is designed for human consumption. That's how you get like proper cheese. Like I don't know why you haven't done this yet. Like I'm not saying enslave the person, chat. Like I'm saying this could be a job. You could pay people to make your cheese. I mean, you'd be paying a company, but they'd be employees of the company. Actually, the way you guys are, they'd probably be independent contractors, which is not great. Why not, chat? You're doing that with another animal already. And if you're doing it with at least two animals, goats and cows, and possibly yaks, I don't know. I know you collect yak milk. I don't know about yak cheese. I mean, it probably mean that those individuals needed like the heavy dutiest of boulder holders. Some somewhere humans make horse cheese. What? Why would you have horse cheese? Oh God, don't tell the bronies. I don't need to see that brony art. Please. No one tell them. God, that is a deep, yeah, that's a deep dread right there. Okay, what was this to be talking about? Bamboo, the Chinese poison stick. Okay, leave it this way. I can't eat bamboo, but like I know herbivores, herbivorous life forms. So, like, okay, before we get into that, chat, what is wrong with you and the idea of herbivores? Okay, like, I don't know what's wrong with you guys and the idea of herbivores. Like, not even a little bit, right? Because like you call these things herbivores, right? And the idea, and herbivore means eats plants, right? Herbivores don't just eat plants, chat. Like, that's the predominant form of their diet, but that's not all they eat. Like, I don't know if you know this, chat. Do you know this? Like, you need to know this. Herbivores eat, like, whatever gives them the nutrients they need. It's just they get the majority of their nutrients. I don't like that. Uh, they get the majority of their nutrients from plants, right? So that's just that's how they do, right? That's just how they do. Uh, so right. Uh, I know someone that you would probably incorrectly call herbivorous because they get a lot of their nutrition predominantly from like plants, and they've had bamboo, and they say it's very filling, but leaves you very hungry very quickly. And my question to you, humanity, is as a creature that is not that is not an herbivorous creature, that is in fact a creature that like needs to have like a wide variety of nutrients. Okay, okay. Before I offend someone, let me back up here real quick. Humans, the human species, Homo sapien sapiens, and let me just say, chat, that is the fucking like most like arrogant thing you could possibly have called yourselves, right? Like, not only are we the Homo sapiens, not only are we thinking people, but we're thinking people. We're the only thinking people that are actually notable for for our ability to think. What the fuck is wrong with your species? I mean, I asked that. But like honestly, nothing is wrong with the species that isn't wrong with every single other species out there in the universe, right? It's just some of us pretend to get over it. I'm sad now, Chad. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Uh, so, like, I actually don't have a lot of pop. Oh, right, no, no. Vegetarians. You guys are fine. Like, no hate for me about dietary choices, whether you want to be vegetarian of, like, any of, like, the 12 varieties of vegetarianism that I know of, or vegan, or, what the fuck is that called? That diet that's going to get someone killed. Atkinsian, right? Atkinsian, or, ketosian? Ketosis? I don't know, chat. I don't know what you call those. Okay, anyway, the thing about the whole diet thing, right? The thing about the whole diet thing. Sure, you can be liver kings if you want. I mean, do the Butterfield diet if you want to. I will not judge you, Chad, but I will question your desire to live if you're out there doing the Butterfield diet. Like, I will question that. Um, I think I gotta move the head up higher. I was saying something. So, like, I don't have that big an issue with bamboo. I don't understand why you do it, is what gets me. Like, it has no nutritive value for your species. Like, I appreciate that it has fiber. It must be extraordinarily filling for you. But like it's mostly cellulose, which, correct me if I'm wrong, humans don't digest. Like, why are you, it's like, I think all species have like some basic predominant traits, right? Cat. And I feel like the predominant trait for humans that humanity's going to be known by, if you can ever make it off of your world and out into the wider galaxy, is being the hungriest, thirstiest species I've ever encountered. Period. Like, you, not only will you eat anything, you want to eat it. Like, I could say, like, chocolate glazed ham in an avocado orange sauce, and at least 10% of your population is going to go, I'm in, windmill slam, I'm eating all of that. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, the thing is, though, yeah, like, I can't eat most of your food, right? But I fucking love sucrose, chat. Like, your sweets are amazing down there. Not gonna lie. And I have made myself sick several times eating cakes and ice cream and chocolates and things like that, and bonbons and other stuff. Sorry, I have bonbons. Why do I have bonbons? Right, the Butterfield diet. Right. Um, but, but, like, that aside, chat, like that aside, like, I can't even with how you guys, with what you guys can eat. Like, I can't, I have no idea how to deal with it. Um, so funny enough, like, I might put her with glasses on. I'm thinking it's gonna go that way, but she doesn't actually have wear glasses. Sin doesn't like their sunglasses, because if this species existed, which I'm not saying it does, it doesn't deal well with heavy light conditions. So like that's just like a thing to keep in mind if you ever meet them. if they exist. Um, but I actually don't mind bamboo. You know what gets me though? That I know the Chinese eat fish sauce. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I actually enjoy the fish sauce flavor in my food. I do. Um, but what is it? How? What possessed someone to take like a fish and be like, yeah, I'm just going to like liquidize this animal and ferment it. And after fermentation, whatever bits of it are still liquid, I'm going to bottle and use to flavor my food. How did that happen, Chad? Like, I'm not asking you to justify your own species here. I feel like that is cruel and unusual to require that, right? But that, like, I like it. I'm not dissing it. But why? Why though, right? That is what I'm wanting to know. I know you can't answer me, Chad, because you're only human. But that's my question of the evening. How'd you get started on that route? But you'll eat it, won't you? You'll eat Chinese food or Japanese food or Korean food, especially Korean food. And it's tasty. Hopefully, I haven't just ruined that food for anyone. Yeah, or ancient Roman food, apparently. I like that. Okay, let's talk about ancient Rome for a minute from an artistic perspective, because I have to say this whole like, oh yes, they were into like pure white marble. So a, that's bullshit. We all know that they weren't. They liked to paint things in bright garish colors, and B, like, stop claiming ancient Rome is like the origin of Western civilization, because like all of the shit they did is so wild and so out there. Like the myth of ancient Rome maybe is the origin of Western civilization. Maybe. I'm not actually gonna. Actually, I'm gonna be a little bit more bullish than that. I'm gonna say that the myth of ancient Rome is bullshit and is not the origin of Western civilization. But on top of that, chat, like, it was just, it was so weird. They had a punishment where they would stick a fish up your butt. Like, ancient Rome is not the civilization that you think it is. Unless you're like a historian, in which case I'm telling you nothing new. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. Also, I appreciate that, like, this looks like nothing but a bunch of scribbles. I will try to. Yes, okay. So you haven't heard about this. I wish I could remember the name of this chat. If I could remember the name of it, I would tell you, right? Like, I would absolutely 100% tell you. But I can't. So here we are. But what they would do, and it was a very vicious punishment, they would take a fish. I want to say it was a kind of pike, and it was for very serious crimes, and they would put its. Oh shit. Okay. Right. I actually probably can't talk about this. Thank you, chat. That's probably against TOS. Yeah. Let us say that they took a fish and they found a way to, without making additional holes, put it inside someone's body, and this would end up resulting in that person being executed by the fish when removal attempts were made. And I think that's about all I can safely say on here. Like, I would like to say more, because I feel like this is something that doesn't get talked about enough, but I absolutely cannot. You guys get it. And the thing is, like, for everyone out there who's like, Rome was the founding of Western civilization. I have to ask, why do you want it to be? Rome was awful. Why would you want that to be the foundation of your civilization? Look, every civilization that has existed so far has been an improvement on the average of previous civilization levels in your history. Look, I get the idea that history feels like it legitimizes what you're doing, right? I understand that. I absolutely get that. But but you you really need to make sure you understand what history it is that you are inviting to be associated with your civilization. And maybe next time, maybe don't. You know, maybe take a look at it and go, yeah, we actually don't want that particular history associated with our civilization because that's fucking degenerate, weird ass shit. So next time someone's like, our civilization is founded on the ancient legacy of, just be like, actually, let me stop you right there. Why can't our civilization just be founded on the idea that we would like to have a good civilization? You know, that'd be a great thing to found a civilization on. Uh, I also have to admit, chat, like, I'm actually kind of, speaking of TOS things, I'm kind of nervous about this whole stream chat. I've done a lot of, like, artwork in the past, and, like, I don't usually stream it, but I'm not 100% where Twitch is, like, stuff comes and goes. So, like, I'm gonna probably be, like, going kind of carefully over what does and doesn't get portrayed in this image. So, but yeah, hopefully you can guys can actually start like seeing it now. Is it just it's just nipples. So I can basically just not draw nipples and everything's fine. Chat, chat, why? Why is it female presenting nipples? Like, okay, here's the thing, chat, I don't want to open up this whole gender equality debate right now, right? I really, really don't. But like, when people talk about gender equality, this is what they mean, or at least what I mean. If you're going to allow nipples, then you need to allow all nipples. And if you can't allow nipples because of one gender, because you're sitting there going, oh my God, it's a nipple. Oh my God, that's so scandalous. The problem is not with the nipple, Jack. The problem is with you, not the nipple. The nipple has done nothing. All right. So I guess I'm just not going to draw nipples. Like, I'm planning to draw her in clothes anyway, chat, right? Like, I actually am. But I usually start out like, and I don't know why, chat. I seem to have this inability to like start from a clothes perspective. Unless I'm like doing like a still life or something, which I haven't done in like an age and a half. I guess a portrait too. A portrait would also work. I do know why, chat, and it makes me sad. It makes me very sad. It makes me a sad, sad panda. Humanity, why are you trying to protect the pandas? Like, I actually appreciate your desire to protect as much flora and fauna of your planet as you can, because you need to have that shit around to show younger generations. Okay, but they don't do anything, chat. Like, I appreciate that they are heckin' cute, right? And they are heckin' cute, chat. Pandas are heckin' cute for, being like 1,000 pound, like a 1,200, 1,400 pound bear that will absolutely take your head off, right? But they are cute for being one of those. So I'll give you that. But like most evolutionary studies that are coming out now are like, yeah, the pandas are actually going to, even if humanity never existed, the pandas will be dead within 1,000 years of now. Exactly, protect the sharks. There's so many non-cuddly things that you guys need for your ecosystems that you should be spending more time in protecting rather than the pandas. I should have done a shark girl, chat. I should have done a shark girl. Everyone loves sharks. Orcs? We could have had shark boobs up in here. We could have had shark boobs. But no. No, I started down this route. Some selfish chat. Okay. Okay, chat. Next week, I'm going to figure out how to do a poll, or I'll just ask chat. I'll be like, hey, I've got these things. What you want? Which one you want, chat? Or maybe I'll just start doing a Nuzlocke, and then every Pokemon I get will become a monster girl. Probably done a lot, but meh. Also, I'm kind of happy with this chat. I tend to draw using a lot, I mean like a lot of references. And this is done like all kind of like freewheeling, and I'm pretty happy with that. Nah, Muck's not gonna be awkward. Muck would be super simple. Muck would be super simple. Uh, not putting a lot of work into it right now. But like, you just have the arms be like kind of like this sort of thing, with the hands maybe like giant thing. Chat, how did I get started doing this? Chat, you have to. Why would you suggest something, chat, when you know I'm gonna do it? Muck won't be awkward, and hey, maybe I won't even get a muck. And yeah, I might attract a particular audience doing that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. But look, drawing, I like drawing monster girls, okay? I also like drawing monsters, so like, we might actually have like maybe what I'll do is I'll try and do like some sort of like super realistic or detailed like Pokemon reference of like my Pokemon for some of them. Or I could do like, I appreciate that like I'm like one of the only people I know who likes this, right? But like humans, your guys' sexes are all the same to me, right? That didn't come out right. Let me try this again, chat. What I mean is I don't have like a strong prejudice against like or preference for any particular like human sex, right? So like male, female, whatever identity you want to put on top of that, um, intersex, whatever. Like I'm here for it, right? So I guess I could do like monster boys too. But everyone else I know, chat, everyone else I know is like, nah, do the booba. And I'm like, okay. So, like, I have very little practice actually doing like boys, just girls. I think genuinely, like, I feel like everyone likes the girls and only some people like the boys. I feel like that's just like a thing that is the case. How do you mean the same way these days? Like they're keen on both the boys and the girls, but like everyone's like, no, do the booba. Yeah, I guess I could see that. I admit I'm not like a big person in like any art community chat. Like, oh yeah, exactly, exactly. Like I actually have done them before, and I need to do more. Um, and I hope one day that you guys will be up for that. Uh, uh, but, uh, but. Well, I don't only draw girls, chat. I will draw everyone. I just need time. I'm drawing this girl right now. Maybe next week I'll draw a dude and we'll see what happens. And I'll watch as like half my audience leaves and be like, I'm sorry, I'm never doing that again. I'm positive that even with just two of you being here, I could get half of you to leave if I just started drawing dudes. Assuming there are only two of you here. If there's more than two of you here, then speak up, say hi. I would love to meet more human beings. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. No one's here for the dudes. Everyone's only chat. What's the opposite of a dude? Help me, chat. Like, before anyone says it, dudette is not the counterpart to a dude. A dudette is the feminine form of a dude. It's a dude. So the the no, gal is opposite of guy, chat. Even I know that. So a dude is opposite of a dude. So you have this dude, and he's really ripped, and the next time you have this other dude, and she's got great booba, and maybe, maybe, babe, don't know. So it's a dude and a wait, yes, which? It's a dude and a babe, or just dude all the way down? Because like I'm actually kind of into that either way. I think that's just kind of cool. All dudes all the time. Yeah, I'm into that. One of the people who is I don't know, people have called Nyaners a dude. So I guess I don't I don't know. Because, chat, as you might imagine, I don't get out a lot. Like I we have a remote, but that thing is so fucked up, chat. Piloting it is a nightmare. I don't like the feedback. So I don't really get out a lot. On the plus side, it means like I never ever to like worry about that's the wrong angle, isn't it? Yeah. Like I never ever have to worry about I don't know lines or anything in places. A few of my a few of the people I live with are starting to get worried about me. So I don't even go into the common rooms anymore. I have, I have, I have my own sun lamp. Chat. I don't need to go out into one of the common rooms to get locally sourced sunlight. Okay, I don't have to, and they can't make me. I like it in here. Uh, anyways, let's see. But yeah, again, I might do that. We'll see. The because okay, so one of the things I'd like to try and do on stream, chat, and let me know if you're into going along with me on this. I have so many games, chat, that I have never actually bothered to play all the way through. So many of them. Would you be interested in going like on a journey with me of like all of these games and shit? And we can see what happens. And oh, I have to rotate her foot, and I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. Okay, that's better. Um, where was I? Games, yes, games, right. So many games, chat. So many games. Like, I have games that I have never played, chat. Games that I don't even know like, I know the name of them, chat, right? But I have no idea what they even are. Let me see if like, I have so many, chat. I have so many. Like, would you be into, like, seeing how it works out with me? And we'll just slowly go through them, and you'll probably see just how bad I am at so many of these things. I have a game called Spellweaver, chat. I don't even know what it is. Hades is on the game list. I've actually, okay, I love Hades. I've never actually finished Hades. I have beaten the final boss like once or twice, but if you've played Hades, you have not. You haven't. If you've played Hades, you know that isn't where it goes. Also, hello, Rez. Welcome to this. Welcome to your future for enlightenment for humanity. I'm here to try and help your species dig upwards. Uh, but yeah, Hades absolutely can be on that list. I have not finished it. Uh, I've not finished it. I haven't. I'm not that good at it, so it's going to be a very interesting time trying to get through it. But like, if that's where people's interests are, I don't see why that can't be a thing that we explore here. Um, like I have a game called Nova Blitz. I don't even know what Nova Blitz is. I presume I did at the time I acquired it, but I don't actually know what it is now. Yeah. Sadly, Rez, there's no game, no games tonight, Rez, just constant art. And look, I promise you, chat, I'm not actually on drugs or drunk. Like, this is unfortunately just, look, I appreciate that from a human perspective, uh, I probably think a little bit differently. But I can assure you that I can't lie to you, chat. This isn't even necessarily normal out here. But, 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 what I can promise you is that this is me about as normal as I can get. I can, when we get to know each other and like we're on a first name basis chat, I might be able to relax some and we can have a very chill time. Maybe you can listen to me fail to make ASMR or something because someone challenged me to do that and I don't know how to back down from a challenge. Um, but, but, uh, maybe then, like you can hang out and we can just be very, very chill. But this is basically like me normally. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. Um, yeah. Tonight we're just doing art. I'm doing a character of mine that I accidentally named after a religious concept. Not spelled the same, but I did. They may or may not be a species that actually exists. And if you do meet them, if they actually do exist, then you absolutely should not grab onto one of their tails if they exist, if they have tails. That's just sort of an FYI, by the way. I'm not saying that they do, in fact, exist or have tails, but if they did, and they do, you shouldn't grab them. They don't like that. And I promise you, I do not, in fact, actually have one of these as a coworker, and they absolutely do not live in the same hab section as I do. Kitty cornered to mine, if cylinders had corners. They actually like coffee. I can't. I hate that they can drink coffee. I drank coffee, chat. I drank coffee for years. I was addicted to coffee for a little while, and I actually mean that very literally. Like I had to. Like, did you know that if you stop drinking coffee, if you've been drinking enough of it, you will go into detox? Because you will. You absolutely will, chat, and it's absolutely miserable. Um, and so that happened to me for like 2 months. And that's when I moved down from drinking over half a gallon of coffee every day, um, which I feel like probably had other good health benefits beyond my not drink, beyond, the detox. I've heard that. And having had baby cocaine, I don't actually want to have cocaine. Shit. Can I say having had baby cocaine? Hopefully, Twitch, please. I'm just talking about coffee. I haven't. Sometimes I worry about Twitch's TOS violations. Okay. Like, it's weird. like, honestly, the things that I think are going to violate the TOS are not going to be the thing that gets me. Because I'm sure something at some point is going to get me. And it's not going to be the thing that I think it is. It's going to be something that I was not planning for, that I, like, didn't even understand was in it. I read those, chat. I read the TOS every every day before I stream. I read the TOS because I'm trying to be good, chat. I'm trying. This does not come naturally to me. Grumpiness comes naturally to me, chat. Yeah, if you are, if this is your first time joining us, Raz, and you haven't just been a lurker, you missed a very interesting conversation regarding the nature of tacos and my problems with the monstrous nature of the human diet. We may have a reprieve on that later, but after getting off of coffee, I was volunteered. I was volunteered to help with a side project several years later, and thus the coffee got back into my life. And now I can't drink it anymore because something from that miserable food selection of your planet has meant that my digestive tract just no longer functions right and never will again. Cakes, chat. I can't eat a cake without getting sick. I miss cakes. On the plus side, since I became allergic to like everything that your planet has to offer effectively, I have lost a bit of weight. Although, frankly, chat, like, dieting is difficult. Like, you think dieting's hard for you? Imagine if you have a body that's designed Okay, like I know your body's not designed to lose weight, yeah, but imagine if your body was designed specifically to be able to store nutrients for later, but was actually good at it instead of being crappy at it. Uh, oh, that's too low. So yeah, that's the I actually like the taste. So okay, here's the thing. Oh, you're used to it, humanity. You're constantly throwing shade on each other. Like you can't blame me for just wanting to be a part of the club. I was actually gonna say I was about to say that I liked coffee chat, but you know what? I don't think I actually like coffee. I think I like caffeine. I think I like coffee next to cream and sugar in about a 1 to 5 ratio. It adds a wonderful flavor and means that instead of having a sugar crash, I'm just gently vibrating for the next several hours until I go back for another mug. Um, yeah, okay. So I think next time I do a game, I will do Hades. It's probably going to be easier on my computer than Doom. I have stories to tell about Stockholm Syndrome, but we're not going to get into that tonight. We will save those for later, chat. Uh, but I disagree that coffee is Stockholm Syndrome. I will agree that it is probably some kind of addiction, though. Um, but it's a useful addiction, which is why it gets such a pass, isn't it? Um, uh, what was it? What was it? Yeah. So next game day. Next game day. I don't know when the next game day is, chat. You can tell me actually. Uh, if you're still there, Rez, you get to make the first ever decision that I've asked anyone in chat to make. The rest of chat, you can also chip in. I'm gonna be back on Thursday. What am I doing on Thursday? Is it more art? Is it games? Is it a mixture? Is it map making? Because I have a lot of maps I have to make, chat. A lot of them. I'm currently working. I'm currently working on like 3 different tabletop games. Okay. So yeah, 2 days time, Hades, Windmill Sim. I will start a brand new save. And I will go until I finish the game. That will be the first game I finish. I can't promise I will do Hades every game day, but that's what I'm going to do and keep up with. Because that is how I want to play games, chat. I am not here to quit. I'm here to get all the way through them. Also, I feel like she's kind of coming together, chat. What you think? That feet might be a little bit too big. That might have to be shrunk down, but I'll have to test that later. Kind of start getting a look at her. Um, okay, like so if the species were to exist and like you were to actually look at them with your eyes, they're not dino feet, Chad. Like they are like each one of those toes, if they exist, which I'm not saying they do, is about like I want to say like 20 centimeters long or so. And the underside is covered in like this soft texture that feels kind of like a gecko's pad that can cling like anything. And the top side is like these overlapping keratinous sheath that taper down to near where the joints are. Wow, can they grip like anything too? If they were real, they could grip like anything. Because in addition to the usual tendons, uh, They have an internal hydraulics. They would have if they were real, an internal hydraulics system. Uh, that makes them really strong for their size, chat. No, no, chat, stop. Stop. I I saw what happened to Miss Atticus. We are not repeating that here. All right? Absolutely not. Do not even bring that into here. For those of you who don't know, just count yourself lucky. And to Miss Atticus, Juniper, I'm so sorry if that in any way makes it worse. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad for her. Like honestly, like okay. So since I'm drawing this here, right? Like let's have a conversation briefly, chat. Like, have you ever really seen like Star Trek or Star Wars or in humanity? You guys want to fuck aliens, and that's okay, chat. That's okay. And in fact, that's something I deeply encourage. Embrace the alien, chat. Embrace it. The thing is though, chat, speaking as an alien, not I guess as your alien chat. Speaking as your alien chat. Uh I'm not that into human beings. You guys are cute, but like you're you have hide and you sweat, and that's a little weird to me, chat. I'll be honest, that's a little weird to me. I will admit the slightly salty taste is nice. Cause before someone starts thinking that I've licked human flesh, I would like to remind you that there are more ways to taste than with your mouth. Okay, you haven't heard the story about Juniper. Juniper, it was very popular at a for a time for non-human or non-typical streaming individuals, what are frequently labeled as VTubers, uh, to do like a hot tub stream, right? And many of them had like a static image of their feet coming out of the hot tub. Juniper, being an artist and being in some ways the kind of artist that I am, I don't mean to okay, look, when I say the kind of artist that I am, Juniper is a fantastic artist, and I don't feel like I stack up to her standards of quality, right? I just don't feel like I do. Like she's amazing. But what I mean the same by sort of the kind of artist that I am, we we have a thing where we like to kind of go all out art wise, right? Like we want to go fully into it as hard as we can. And so rather than just making a static foot image, she made an entire VTube rig and animated it of her feet and used that asset for her feet. So they'd wiggle, they 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 wiggle and twitch, and occasionally her legs would gently shift and rearrange. Like it was really amazing, and I'm so sorry it became such a cursed thing for her because honestly, it was a phenomenal piece of like chat. What do you call like a VTuber rig? Is that art? Is that construction? Like I've drawn one at this point, and I don't know what they're called, right? I don't know what the final product is called, right? But okay, it was a phenomenal piece of artwork and rigging that she did, right? And she now has a bunch of people who have started fetishizing that particular thing that she did, and they won't let her alone about it. And what I don't want happening is I don't want my chat to become a refuge for people of that mindset to then feel like they should go and trouble her over that. You know, it was a fine piece of rigging, and that was like early days for her, so it was like especially good because she didn't know as much then as she does now. I actually am planning to learn how to do rigging and stuff. I did not. If if I may acknowledge that I am hiding some of my true nature from you, chat, because I don't think you're ready for it yet. Um, I did not do rigging for myself. Uh, that was done by a very dear friend of mine who is currently anonymous on the internet. Did the art though. Um, but that's kind of like that's the whole thing with Juniper and her feet. Like it's pretty famous at this point, and is unfortunately one of the things she's best known for. Even though like because I like Juniper, I have watched her occasionally. I've never said hi because let's face it, chat. I am terrified of saying hello to Juniper because of two things. One, what if she doesn't even notice? And two, worst case scenario, what if she does notice, chat? I don't know what I'm going to do then. Like, I really don't. So yeah, that's why. But yes, that's the story of her feet. Um, so I don't know how that's going to work out. But there we are. What was I saying? Oh, right. Juniper is absolutely gorgeous, though. Like, I wish arthropodal life on your planet had gotten as advanced as she has. You know, because I feel like there's so many. Your planet came with so many types of arthropods, and like none of them really made it sapience or like genuine attractiveness. I just kind of feel that's a bit of a shame, chat. You have some lovely arthropods. Yes, I know I have arachnophobia. Shut up. It's you know what it is, chat? It's the way and the speed at which they move. I don't know if you know this, chat, but I'm wearing glasses, right? And my species, we don't have great vision the way that you guys do, right? Like my vision isn't good. One of the specimens got loose the other day. What's solifuge? Are those millipedes? I feel like those are millipedes, or those centipedes. That would be centipedes, and actually, okay, so chat, chat, fuck, why would you bring that into this chat? Why would you even mention those? God, I can feel my skin crawl. What is wrong with you? Oh, oh my god. No, thank you, cat. My skin is now prickling on the mere thought of one of those things. Ah, holy, holy fucking hell. Oh my god. Okay. I'm 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 sorry. If that is your favorite arthropod, more power to you. but those terrify the just everything out of me. I don't know if it's their shape, if it's their I don't even know what. Chat, just something about them, right? Something about them. Also, chat. I don't know, like since I don't know if you've ever like if you're wondering like why arthropods chat. Have you ever kissed someone who has mandibles? If you haven't, you need to try it sometime. I promise you, it will rock your world. It could be the face and speed though. Oh, right. Sorry. Yep. Sorry. Restricted to your planet. Yes. Gotcha. Gotcha. I'm sorry, Chad. I didn't mean to make you feel bad. Did not mean to make you feel bad about the lack of selection. What? I mean, I guess you have cetaceans? Maybe. But they don't really have mandibles, so never mind that. I'm just trying to think, like, what other sapio sentient life do you have down there, Chad? You've got cetaceans. You have well, okay, chat. Here's the thing. Embracing the alien, being at peace with the alien, does not mean that you have to want to snog the alien. You know, you don't have to want that. Like it's, I feel like it's recommended. I feel like it absolutely greases the wheels of a multi-species society. But again, that is a personal opinion. Many people, like I mean, like many people out here, many people who are completely fine with the alien, never leave their own species. You know, it's part of why you have people tend to move either in family units or to systems where they know that there's plenty of the other of their own species. Did you know that the man who said that is still alive and kicking and making YouTube videos? Chat. Hypocrisy was the lubricant that keeps society running smoothly, was something said by a man who goes by Warlockery online. And if you haven't checked out his YouTube content, like I don't know him personally or anything. Yeah, he's still so. I do too because I like to know that he is out of the Russian penal system still. And he's still out of it. He's still out of it, even though he keeps getting threats like taped to his door or something. And after being asked repeatedly, "Oh my goodness, does it ever?" Like I'm really proud of him. Uh like I'm like really impressed, and I feel like not enough people like he does not plan to leave Russia. By the way, he said that he considers himself a Slav at heart, and he would rather stay and fight to make it better. Yeah, like he's actually like a real life activist. Like he was out there protesting, not to derail it, but he's out there protesting the events that are happening in Ukraine. I know you're not allowed to talk about all of the stuff that's happening in Ukraine under TOS, so I'm going to kind of lightly glaze over that, like just like sort of like slide over that. but I think what he's doing is really awesome, and there should be more people like it. So I so it you're not allowed to talk about certain kinds of uh, abuses of, well, for lack of a better word, of humanity or of sapient life, I suppose. You can't talk about certain forms of violence and other things like that under Twitch's TOS. And I'm not sure where the stuff in well, no, I know mentioning Ukraine and the fact that there is a conflict, a war on in Ukraine is not against TOS, but like I don't know how much details we can and can't talk about, or I can and can't talk about relating to Ukraine. So I'm still kind of nervous about it. Also, the bigger streamers get a lot of leeway. Um, and frequently get their stuff reviewed by actual human beings instead of an algorithm. Uh, so I don't like. I will say that like I'm definitely on the same side as the V Shoujo crew and most everyone else in this. And I think what's happening there is awful. It's just not a strong enough word. Uh, and I'm very grateful that the current outcome is looking like is going about the way it's currently going. I feel like this may be something of a best case scenario. If this was going to happen, I would rather have first of all, I would rather it had not happened. But second of all, I think if it was going to happen, what we're dealing with now might be kind of a better case scenario than many others. Uh this is why I'm like, because I can talk about it. I just don't know, like, I don't want to get into specifics, chat. I don't want to because, like, again, certain things you're not allowed to talk about. And it's, a lot of it's kind of weird. Like, and what's funny is these TOS things actually mean that there's stuff that has personally, like, happened that I've either witnessed or seen, like, personally, that I can never talk about because it's technically against it's against TOS. Uh, it's just like I don't know why they decided that was going to be the thing, but like it's their platform. They get to just make that decision. Uh, so yeah, yeah, that's but yeah, he is an actual activist. He's actually doing protests and not just like being at them, like he's helping organize them and get them together. And he plans to stay in Russia, even though like he was qualified to be able to move out of Russia previously, and he considered it the first time he got arrested, which was sometime in his like not now, but like sometime in his history when this happened, right? He considered it, but he decided he was going to stay and fight for change, and like just goddamn, that's really cool. Like my, I'm not wearing my hat, chat, but my hat is off to Mr. Warlockery. I know he has a name. I don't know his name, like his actual name. My hat's off to him. If you've never seen his content, absolutely try it. He's got a voice that I can only describe as being very pleasant. Um, and like, I don't anymore because right now I can't listen to people talking like about stuff while I get to sleep. My mind is too active right now when I try to go to bed. But I used to listen to him going to sleep and some of his old Morrowind stuff. It was very nice. And this is sort of what I mean about like I don't know that I'm a good artist, chat. Like all this time I've been spending and like I have I have like a sketch going and it's coming out all right, right? Like it's coming out pretty good. But like this isn't like I've put down lines. This isn't like something that I can actually like turn into a final piece of art. I don't know, like I don't know if you guys care about that, chat. Do you guys care about that? Or would you rather just see where I go as I'm going? Yeah, that imposter syndrome be very true. Look, I'm a woman who has to spend a lot of her days watching a bunch of screens and then occasionally reviewing something an algorithm coughs up and then making charts about it. I'm very insecure about my own abilities. I think I'm laughing, but it's true. I actually like I run a tabletop game chat. I run a tabletop game because I got I got stuck. You know, I love tabletop games, and somehow I am now the forever GM. But someone I know who is I adore them. They're super sweet. They're running a small little game just for me, and that is like that's one of the happiest things I've ever done. And I'm being such a bad player to them chat. I haven't finished my character yet, and I'm just like, oh my god, uh, I need to do that chat. I need to do that. Maybe if you're very lucky, I'll make a character on stream for practice or something like that. Uh, but but like as a GM, I am constantly super nervous about like how I'm doing. My players are having a good time, and they keep telling me they're having a good time. But like I'm super worried all the time, chat, that I'm letting them down, or that I've made things too frustrating, or any number of things. Uh, so definitely that imposter syndrome, absolutely a part of it. That's not the right eyebrow shape. Hang on, chat. That's actually the eye shape. So the eye shape should be like that. Uh, the imposter syndrome is very real. I think it's something that most people experience. Probably most people experience a lot of the time. And you want to know something interesting? I was not reading, I was reading a video chat. I was reading a video. Cut and print, that is content. Reading a video. I was watching a video chat about a psychiatrist, a behavioral and developmental psychiatrist. And okay, there we go. They were talking and they had an interesting talk. And they were talking about like kind of about how people get imposter syndrome, you know, and like what part of how it develops. And this is really interesting, and it's I think it's part of why imposter syndrome, like it not just has always been common, but remains common to this day, right? And it's that people get imposter syndrome basically by being told that they're super special, like too much growing up. Like it makes some people into assholes, right? Who think that they are the bee's knees without any evidence, right? But the rest of people, it makes them feel deeply insecure for the rest of their lives because they feel like everyone thinks they're super special and like what they're doing is not special enough to warrant the kind of praise they've been getting. And I thought that was fascinating, chat. And so like if you're out there and you've been told all your life that you are like a super special person and that you can do and be anything, and that you'll always be great, and you feel like, no, but I'm awful, I'm a terrible individual, why does everyone keep doing this to me? They're trying to say that they love and support you, Chad. That's what they're trying to say. This and that feeling of not being, yeah, giftedness is not inherently, but like socially, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's not right. Yeah, and like I wish, right? Like I wish I could have and provide you guys with the kind of insights that that man provided to like his audience. And if I was really on the ball, which would mean that I would have to know I was going to bring this up, which would mean that any of this was like properly planned. Uh, I would have like a link for you, chat. Thursday. I'll see if I can't dig one up for Thursday. If I remember, I make no promises, but I will try to. Um, but it was very interesting. It was a very, very interesting thing. And chat, that's not just a human problem. Everyone wants their child to feel loved, and everyone wants their child to feel like they could do or be whatever they can. And this is something that I feel like everyone has to come to grips with. And it's the, oh, motherfucker. It's the fact, it's the fact that we can do things and we don't have to apply a label to it. Chat. We don't have to apply labels. We don't have to apply labels. We don't have to say anything's good enough or bad enough. I think if we wanted to try and just be and do what we do, that would be for the best. I say it like it's just that easy, chat, right? Like I say it like that, but it's not. It's hard. And no one makes it every day. But maybe if if we get lucky, we can do it a little bit today and maybe a little bit longer tomorrow. And then one day we forget that we ever doubted that we could do anything in the first place because we're spending so much time just doing. Like I don't know why I'm building 3 campaigns slash worlds chat. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I am, and at least one of them is somewhat functional. Um, that's oh, that's big. Okay. Uh, okay. I'm about to pull back a little bit, chat, because I feel like I've been zoomed in doing a bunch of little detail work. Because it's the only way I know how to draw, right? Like when I used to draw on paper, chat, I used to like have my head like let me show you, chat. Like this is how I'd be. Like if the screen was a piece of paper, I would be like hunched over it, chat, and I would just be like this, like face pressed up, like maybe like 10, 15 centimeters away from the piece of paper, like the pencil almost poking my own eyes out as I was just trying to sketch like these lines that were like barely a centimeter long. Because I have a sheet of like paper, right? And I'd be drawing in like, I don't know, like an 8 by 8 centimeter corner of this like this is 25, 30 centimeter long paper. And it's like, I don't know why I did that, Chad. I don't know why. Okay, okay, sorry about that, chat. But I felt like I need to share that, and now it's out of my system. But I want to spend a lot of time on her eyes, chat. I want to spend a lot of time on her eyes because her eyes are very important. And they are culturally, they would be culturally if the species existed. That's really actually very hard to do, chat. Like, censor yourself all the time like that. And I'm not good at it, so, like, just pretend I'm doing it right all the time, okay? I might have to shrink that down. That's, or not. I don't know. I think it's a little too big proportionally. Yeah. So part of the problem, chat, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not a problem I can fix anytime soon. I wish I could. I would if I could, but I can't, right? And it's that I don't have a tablet, chat. Like, I mean, I do, but not a tablet like you're thinking of. You know those like nice tablets that have like a screen where you draw on them, chat? That's not what I have. I have like a tiny, like 18 centimeter, maybe 20 centimeter wide tablet. And that's just sitting on a surface in front of me, and I'm pressing my stylus up on it. So that's a bit how that works. And it's very awkward to draw. Uh, what? Oh, I am trying to draw using the eraser. Okay, I'll try and zoom out a little bit so you guys can see a bit more when I'm doing that. Let me see. So yeah, gift giftedness can be a curse, but it can also be a blessing. Don't let don't let the emotional bombardment and baggage from other people take your gifts, chat, and make them into a curse. Like, if I think there's one thing that I'd like for you to take away from tonight, it would be that, right? Chat, chat, I think I've messed up on the entire perspective here. Hang on, chat. Yeah, nope, nope, this is okay. This is okay. This is okay. I was super worried there for a minute, but it is okay. Okay, I was really worried there, chat. Um, so, so yeah, this is, and chat, let me be honest with you. We knew tails were okay, but I'm here to tell you, chat, it is okay to have mandible envy. Or okay, let's define something real quick. Jealousy, right? Is I like your stuff and I want it and you don't get it anymore, right? Envy, envy is man, I don't mind you having that, but boy do I wish I had my own. And it's okay to want mandibles, chat. It's okay to want them. Uh, Mandible envy is mercifully not something I suffer from myself. Thickness envy kind of is, though. Like, you look around, there's people who are like just astoundingly curvy, right, chat? Just like, holy crap, those are curves, right? And I admit, while I appreciate the impracticality of this in a certain fashion, like that has to be kind of like a kick in the head to just have curves like that, right? Like, I guess if you're a certain kind of person, I suppose. But it's just like, it'd be fun to try on for a bit, chat. Just being dummy thick. Uh, I need to remove some of this other stuff on the screen, don't I? Yep. Okay. Um, oh, right, the butt conversation. I don't know if you remember that, chat. Yeah, we'll have to return to that later because, chat, does she have one butt or two? What is, where are her butts, chat? We have one. So someone, oh no, oops, okay. So I hear some votes for one butt, which I'm assuming is the tail. You know what I've always been jealous of, chat? Not jealous, envious of. You know what I always want to be able to do, chat? Is that thing where you like block out some colors and then like you turn it into art somehow? That always seemed amazing to me. I don't look, chat. After our discussions earlier, I don't know what is and isn't a butt anymore. Okay, this is your fault. You started it. You take responsibility. Like all of those illegitimate children that I'm sure you have. Like I'm not letting you make the butts another illegitimate child. Philosophically speaking. Yeah. Oh wow, it's starting to get later on. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, chat. How long do you get? Are you guys up for more chat? Because normally I shut down in about half an hour, something like that. But if you guys want more, I can keep going because I'm enjoying drawing. I'm enjoying chatting with you. And but otherwise, I don't know if I can make those anyway. But yeah, at least get you guys some color, chat. Get you guys some kind of evidence of like finished upness. I will come back to this though, chat. I promise. Dusky Boris, I'm so sorry. Work in the morning is the absolute nadir of work, right? Because it ruins your evening. It's not just work, it's work that then gets in the way of the rest of your life. Now, work in the evening can be fun because then when you get off of shift, everyone else is coming on shift, and you're like, haha, now I get to go relax, and all you guys have to do stuff, making me the superior life form. Chat, I want you to know that I've never done that to my coworkers. Not once. Look, chat, we all have flaws. I'm not going to hold your liking other people against you. And, like, I like being around you, chat. I don't know if I could say I like being around other people. I like people very much, chat, until I actually start meeting them. And then I feel nothing but heart palpitations, chat, because I have profound anxiety. Literal heart palpitations. I mean, frankly, the heart palpitations I think are like the less scary of like the three major symptoms that I can get with anxiety. frankly, physical symptoms, I mean. The other two that I get from anxiety is one, I get the vomits, and two, my heart rate just spikes and remains elevated until I start feeling faint. And eventually have to sit down, or in one case, had to go somewhere quiet and wait for my vision to return. I am getting better, Chad. Like you're here, aren't you? And I haven't had to go have a little bit of a breather yet once. I had to breathe into a paper bag after Sunday. I mean, I say breathe into a paper bag on Sunday. What I really did, chat, was I went and played Satisfactory for a little while. I don't know if you, at least until Satisfactory threw one of its fucking spiders at me, and then I had to claw myself down from the ceiling. I like Satisfactory, chat. I will never. Okay, chat. Remember how I mentioned that my computer is made out of everything that Requisitions hasn't made off with yet? And that not being part of the Requisitions team, I don't get first pick? Oh, take care, Dusky Boris. One day I will ask you why you are Dusky. I hope you have a good night and good luck at work in the morning. I look forward to seeing you again sometimes. The channel will be open again. Oh, that's worrying. Uh, well, we'll discuss that in a minute. Uh, but the channel will be opening again Thursday, same time, whatever the local time is for you. Uh, Bye, nay. Bye, ni? That'd be nay, because that's Japanese. I know that. I'm capable of recognizing some things anyway. Uh, but yeah, I'm gonna put some colors on so you can kind of see what her palette looks like. Uh, and maybe differentiate some stuff. And afterwards, we'll probably. So, talking of bathing, do you know that you can't bath up here, chat? We have. Oh, hang on. I want to tell you what it is. Let me get the exact literature on this, chat. I have an employee manual here. Hang on. Hang on, chat. Employee sanitation areas. I'd like you to imagine, chat, how miserable this must be. Just really quick, chat. Because, in order to actually have like a water flow, you have to have something approaching gravity, right? Which is done either through acceleration or electrograv, powered gravity, which, as you already discussed earlier, we don't have because that would cost money. Um, or, or, or you have spin gravity. Spin gravity and water mix not super well. So rather than get into that whole plumbing nightmare, corporate corporate decided that they would go with sanitation pods. Or, uh, as someone I knew once put them, porta bath. You know you have porta potties down there, chat? Because everyone's been to an event where they have at least one porta potty, right? Imagine a porta potty that you go inside, and when it turns on, like it douses you in, let's call it a powder that covers you and like has a disinfecting thing. This powder uh, is then there's like a jet of what I will charitably call mist uh, that wets it, and then there is like a pressure wave, and it like chemically Yes, you are clean at the end of the process. But just imagine, chat, imagine. This is awful. And you have to do this at least once a week, whether you want to or not, because of sanitation guidelines. Because, we can't actually have contaminants running loose around the station, even though we had entire small habitats for your fauna and flora down there. And one time, in one of the more forested ones, I saw this great big old deer with this massive shaggy coat and this like long muzzle and this like little black nose running through some foliage and just borking its head off. Um, and so that was an interesting thing. It's like they can run wild. We can afford to suspend the gravity for them to have, like a more native environment, but we can't actually afford to, spend the gravity. That's too dark. What? What, chat? Have you never seen a deer before? You know, going, going like woof, 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 bow, wow, that kind of thing. Yark, yark, yark. And thank you. Welcome back. What? Not touching what one? Zandalar, you are the worst. I need you to know that. Thank you. Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to finish her tonight because, as I said, I'm kind of a slow artist, right? It looked like. Remember how I said I didn't have very good eyesight? Chat. Look, it was moving through the forest. Its head was moving along the bushes. Therefore, therefore, it was a deer. I'd just seen some deer in there the other day. It was a deer. QED. Deer. And thank you. Welcome back. Welcome back, Rez, and thank you. I definitely have been enjoying. I'm not gonna be able to finish it, as I said. But I'm putting down some colors so that she's like at least you guys can kind of see where it's going a little bit. This way, by like stream's end, we can at least like appreciate where she is. Oh, I wish I could do the eyes properly. The eyes are gonna be difficult. The, if this species were to exist, they have these very chromatic eyes, and I'm not able to do that in like a short time with colors. I wish I could, but I won't be able to. They're very fluffy, but only in parts. They smell nice too. They would smell nice anyway. Uh, so yeah, thanks to comments. Thanks to comments. Uh, I think next time, because I'll be back on Thursday, and I will be starting on my adventures in Hades then. But I may do a little bit of hybrid stuff on Thursday, like maybe some game playing and maybe some art. We'll see. Um, I actually have a an art project that I'm currently working on for another tuber. I'm actually doing their background. I'm pretty excited about it. It's not like anything I've done before, but it's coming along pretty well. I haven't showed it on stream before because I don't want to show it before they get to, they get to debut and stuff. But yeah, this is the character who I accidentally named like an edgelord. Uh, they are not based around anyone that I happen to know, much less someone that is a member of a is a family member of a coworker that I absolutely don't have. Uh, but yeah, so I guess to go out with chat, to go out with thank you for believing me, chat. It makes me feel good. Uh, because we'll be going out soon. I don't want to. I enjoy my time with you, chat. To go out with, I'll probably work on another sketch before I before resuming this next week. Um, but to go out with chat, I feel like we have a plan. I feel like it's gonna be Hades, and I think what I'll do is I will probably see about drawing at least some of the Hades enemies, at least like to this level uh, of like Monster Girl or something like that. And we can talk some about Greek mythos, or at least the parts of it that I'm allowed to talk about on stream, which is not all of it. Uh, because there's a lot to Greek mythos, and a lot of it you absolutely cannot talk about on stream because of what it entails. Because you're not allowed to talk about let's just say that there are certain approach. Zeus is a problem. He he produced a lot of children, and some of the manners in which he produced some of those children are absolutely against the TOS. And he was not the only Greek god to do this. I'm probably going to spend way too long on this eye right now, chat, because I'm really into it. Like, I don't need to be coloring this, like, super detailed right now. But I'm going to because it'll look very pretty. Yeah, we talk about some of the Greek mythology. I actually like Hades in a number of ways, and I think part of that is because they try to be they try to really incorporate Greek mythology in a way that makes a lot more sense than when it's in a lot of ways it's frequently incorporated. Like it's frequently very it's I guess made more modern would be like the right way of putting it, right? Like it's made more modern frequently. Yeah. And that's, I guess that's all well and good. But it doesn't actually really capture it. And I feel like in Hades, there's definitely been like an effort to make it less modern. Although the fashion sense is a bit modern, but I thought the fashion sense was basically to try and portray like the Greek gods in kind of a way that maybe the Greeks would, because the gods were like a lot of the gods were super sexy to the Greeks. So I feel like that's maybe kind of on brand there. That's kind of what their eye is like. They have a nick. They do you know what nictitating membrane is, Chad? It's like a special membrane that you can flick over your eye for protection. and and it's something that were they to exist, I imagine that they might have, uh, and it might do interesting things to the colors of their eyes when it's over them. That is my thought there. But yeah, as we go forwards in the future, I will probably let you in on some of the stuff I'm working on some of the on oops, too high, on some of the worlds and other projects, and you guys will get to see little bits of them. We'll see how that goes. Some of the maps and stuff like that. Um, I can't go into too much detail for all of them because like I can't have my players like finding out about some of them, right? Okay, let me see. But I feel like we can definitely look into some of that and talk about some of it because my players are right now in a weird situation. Uh, they're kind of racing in the game I have running. I may run other games in the future, but in the game I have running right now, Chad, my players are in a very weird situation, and they're racing against the clock, trying to get together. So all the gods are dead, and they're trying to revive one of them, and they were going to revive one via this organization that has been kind of like fighting the good fight and trying to get all of that in place. You guys spent way too long on that eyeball, but look at chat, isn't it great? Um, uh, and so they are spending they're working with this organization that they have decided to kind of betray because they want to resurrect a god. Um, 'Cause I use the old gods of your world chat because it's exotic and fun, um, rather than like any sort of like D&D or Pathfinder gods. The game is a Pathfinder 1E game with a lot of heavy modifications, a lot of heavy homebrewing. I try to be pretty fair and balanced about the homebrew. Like if something doesn't work and I've homebrewed it, it gets removed or it gets reworked. Like I'm not one of those GMs where it's like, oh, I've homebrewed everything and it's a total disaster and nothing is fun anymore. My players are having a good time. Uh, you know what? If you're ever going to pull out of you chat, what I might do is I might run a single person plural campaign and let you guys vote on actions. Oh, that would be a hoot. I would like to see that happen. Um, but uh, but anyway, so they were working with this organization to try and resurrect the god Ramnusia, who is better known as Nemesis from the Greek pantheon, who is just the most hateful little fuck spot of a god. Like Nemesis. Oh god, Nemesis is awful. Uh, and so the players found this, and one of them was like, well, maybe Nemesis isn't so bad going by the descriptions, because they, genuinely believed, like, hey, if you look at this in the most positive light, this could actually work out. And, like, I didn't tell the player this, but don't look at anything that you don't know about in the most positive light. Like, try and approach it from a neutral perspective, chat. Like, if the neutral perspective is that this is going to be pretty shit, it's probably not going to be good. Like, absolutely feel free to give it a try, but don't expect goodness, right? So they're just like, you know what? Maybe we can resurrect a different god. So this lich, who's pretty friendly, who they've betrayed before, who's been trying to get their help to resurrect his god for a while now, they go to him and they're like, hey, what if instead of doing the whole betrayal thing, we want to come back and like work for you? Also, could you please not sick a vampire on us? And I'd like to be clear, because this makes the Lich sound pretty awful. The Lich warned them if they betrayed him, he was going to sick a vampire on them. And chat, this isn't like a vampire, like a random vampire, right? This is the player characters got duped by a vampire lord and turned into vampires, and now they're running away from a vampire. That's what this is, chat. This is not this lich has just randomly sicked a vampire on them. This lich was like, if you betray me, I'm gonna let your sire know where you are. And they're like, okay, we're just gonna go betray you then. And the lich was like, well, now I guess I gotta tell your sire where you are. And they're like, why would you do that? That's really evil. And he's like, I I know it's awful and I don't want to do it, but I warned you what would happen. Because he's a very lawful character, chat. Very lawful person. Uh he takes that law and oath thing very seriously. Like he doesn't lie or anything like that. Very friendly bitch. And so the players like go off and they reconnect with this lich. Like, yeah, we'll resurrect your god. What is your god? And it's like Wajir, right? And Wajir is an ancient Egyptian god. For those who don't know, it's said a lot of different ways in modern context, but it hasn't been. The players don't know what it is yet, chat. So you're gonna have to wait until the players find out what the common name of it is in English before I tell you. Okay? This way you can't tell them anything they don't know. But so they agreed to work with him and not betray him to bring back this particular this particular this particular this particular thought I wouldn't see through that ruse, did you, Chad? Yeah, I'm intermittently intelligent. Uh so Chad. So Chad. They're working on trying to find like a way to do it. They lost a party member. They were a GM NPC because I allowed the party to have one GM NPC because there's only two of them, Chad. Because we really wanted the third player. But the third player was really super busy at the time. I didn't actually know them at the time. I have since met them and they are an amazing individual. I'm sad they're not a part of the game. But that happens sometimes, right? Uh, but so with just two of them, I figured they could get a GM NPC. There are these things called, they're basically these slaves locally, and they could buy one. And they've done this a couple times, and it's never worked out well for them. I think in part because the person who keeps buying them has a difficulty with the idea of having a slave relationship towards someone, and so they keep treating them in very weird ways that are not helpful, chat. But they're very uncomfortable with relating to someone like a slave. And I've talked with the player about this. I'm not forcing the player to do this, right? But the problem is they don't want for there not to be slavery, chat. They want to make a difference in the lives of these slaves. for now their slaves. And if this sounds like one of those, like, but you can't, you could just set them free, the answer is yes, chat. They absolutely could just set them free. But they don't. They don't do that, chat. Which has made one of the slaves actually resent them tremendously. They did actually get free, funnily enough, because they wanted them kind of unbound. I think that might be too floofy, but I'll look at that later, chat. And and so because of that, it's this slave they had, this slave died when they were in the Shadowlands, which is where they met the vampire. They decided to cross to ford a very low bridge that was, currently being flooded by like a tempestual rainstorm. And that particular slave, that effigy is what they're called in the universe, that effigy, she didn't have like the best stats to be doing that, but she did it anyway. And so she kind of drowned en route. Uh, they've been on a quest to get the slave resurrected, and the one of them who's still a vampire is on a quest to get themselves resurrected, right? And they're dying while being a vampire. Don't ask, chat. They started consuming like liquid positive energy, and now we're here, okay? Like it's not a normal thing for a vampire to start dying. I appreciate that, but this is a special circumstance that I'd like to say that they volunteered for. Like I did not tell them to do this. I didn't suggest it was a good idea. I even made sure that they felt bad side effects and they kept doing it for a while. And now we're here. And so they went to the local undead community, which is not a the area they are in does not approve of the undead. And so now they're kind of like they have the money to get one of them resurrected, and they're like, we'll just resurrect one of them. The one who's still a vampire really wants to resurrect the effigy, and they're gonna die in like a month if they don't like do something about their state. And it's one of those things where it's like, chat, like I don't know if I should like because I could make anything happen. I am the GM, right? But I feel like with everything that's happened, all the consequences, I feel like if I just give them back the effigy with no like, because they can do it. Like, I'm not going to stop them doing it, chat. And it's not going to be like, oh, but something. No, no. If they do it, and if they actually give all the proper materials and stuff, it'll work, right? It'll work, chat. But they might die, chat. Because like they went to the undead community where their sire now is, because their sire's now on the material plane, and rather than like settle anything, when he's a vampire, it's like, yeah, I don't plan to be a vampire. I don't want to be a part of this community. I'd like to have you do stuff for me, but I don't actually like want to be a part of the undead community. I just kind of want to get this fixed and go back to my old life. And like I'm being they were slightly more diplomatic than I am being, chat. But that is what got communicated. And and chat, that's not how you get the undead on your side, chat. So now they've gone back, and they have to get ready to do a magical ritual for someone who I don't think they trust in order to get a book so that a drow priestess won't own their souls. It's been one of those kinds of campaigns, chat. I didn't plan like any of this. I want you to know, chat. Like this was not my plan for the campaign at all. Like I didn't. The campaign is it's kind of a Ragnarok campaign, chat. Honestly, like The gods are dead. Uh, the forces of Ling have invaded, and they're trying to do one last ditch effort to put everything back the way it's supposed to be. And I'm not saying it's going to fail, chat, because it might not fail. But I'm saying it's not exactly going to be a super happy ending kind of campaign, chat, because Ragnarok stories, while they can be very hopeful, are never just like, and everyone lives happily ever after, chat, are they? It's about doing everything until the very last moment and fighting until the end so the world can be reborn. It wasn't originally a Ragnarok story, Chad. I'd like you to know that. It's just so I game design as a hobby, chat. I do everything as a hobby, chat. I'm an omni hobbyist. Um, if there's something you could do as a hobby, I probably do it. Um, and like because I wasn't expecting to ever GM again, chat. Because I didn't. So 2 years ago, I had just broken up with someone. It was an awful relationship, and I was kind of feeling down on the whole social interaction thing. And I loved tabletop games, but look, chat. I need to be honest with you real quick, chat. There are people who love tabletop games, and they love the tabletop game. They love it. They love the mechanics of it. They love it conceptually. They like to play them, right? And then there are people for whom they exist to play in tabletop games. And I think I think the technical term is called a neck beard. And chat, I don't like that most of the things that I like that I really love, chat. Because I love tabletop games. I love discussing their mechanics. I love looking at how they work. I love disassembling them. I love making systems for them. I love building them. Like so many things I love. Tabletop games, video games, uh, games in general, mostly, tend to be colonized by, or at least the segments of them that I have encountered, online or offline, have all belonged to neckbeards, chat. And chat, let me tell you this. Dealing with a neckbeard as the opposite gender and as someone who is strange on top of that is a living hell. Even the ones who are trying to be nice don't know what they're doing, and it's very awkward and frankly usually a little creepy. Uh, and for a while, I just hung out with them because, that was the thing I love, chat. But then I was like, I can't do this anymore. And then, chat, then you know what happened? Then I started to meet people like you. People who could love things and enjoy things and who weren't creepy. And this is why I like you, chat. People who could like things without making me feel like I needed to go bathe. I haven't bathed in years, chat, and I miss it. I miss it so much, chat. That is the first thing I am doing when either I get some kind of shore leave or I leave this post, chat. I'm having a bath. I'm having a bath for like 2 hours. It's gonna feel great. If people just joined on that little tirade, no, I'm not filthy. We have methods of disinfecting. We just don't have that in the ob station, okay? Hey, there we go. And now she's coming to. Now that I've spent like 3 hours basically filling the screen with just awful scribbles, now I can make progress. And when that's done, then I can actually put on some lines. So yeah, chat, I'll bring you in on what's happening. And if you like, I will even keep you up to date with any games that I have run, or maybe we'll even see about getting you involved in some of the worlds and stuff I'm constructing. I'm not saying super involved, but like letting you in on the secrets. In either case, I think this is where we stop for tonight. For those of you who are looking at like the other stuff, like this was a thing to do. So yes, I did this thing up here in the corner too. I was pretty happy with that. First time I've done that in a long time. And this other one is just a little sketch. And this is going to be a species, a species, a sapient form of life, or one of the worlds I'm working on. That is, you know how some GMs have like a forever world where they run like most of their campaigns and everything? It's going to be for my forever world chat. And you'll get to know more about that later. I might come back and finish up and do more with her another stream. But yeah, there's Sin looking glorious. I do need to make that foot a little smaller though, it's too close to the camera. Anyway, chat, it has been wonderful seeing you all. We had a new face. Welcome, welcome. We've had a good fun time, and I will be back in the Motley to see you again, opening up the broadcast channels in 2 days' time, on Thursday, same time. It's 8 Eastern Daylight Time, 5 Pacific Daylight Time, 7 Eastern Standard Time, 4 Pacific Standard Time. And for all other time zones, you can work out what you're doing. I have a Twitter. If you Twitter at me like, hey, please include this time zone and when you're next going to be around, I will start including that. Chad, I swear to gods, I swear to all of the gods that if you make it so I have to do the entire time for your whole misbegotten planet, I'm going to be so mad, Chad. But until next time, Chad. Until next time, when I'm back with some Hades, and to see you again. Have a wonderful time, Chad. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Stay safe. And remember to embrace the alien. Because the alien cares about you, Chad. And you should care about them back. Good night, everyone. It's been wonderful.